Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am so over the moon excited for today's video because I have a very special palette to share with you all. I am going to be playing with the brand new eyeshadow palette release from What's Up Beauty. This is the Dragon Eye palette and it looks stunning. Thank you so much to Alina and the team at What's Up Beauty for sending me this palette a little bit early to play with and try out ahead of time. I am so grateful and just so excited to be able to share this palette with you all. We are going to do some swatches. I'm going to show you some close-ups of this palette, give you all the details. I'm going to put a look on my eyes. I was sent this palette, but I'm under no obligation to post this video. I just frankly saw this palette and this color story and thought, yep, I need to play with that tonight. So that's what we're doing. If that sounds good, I hope you will just keep on watching. So before we get into any swatches, I want to give you all the details about this palette before I forget. So the Dragon Eye eyeshadow palette is going to be launching November 17th, which is a couple days away from when I'm going to be posting this video at 9 a.m. PST and 12 p.m. EST. It is talc-free, clean, cruelty-free, sustainable, made in Italy, and it's going to run for $45 US. First of all, the packaging. We need to talk about the packaging of this palette. It is so stunning. I have done a previous video with the What's Up Beauty Geodes palette. I actually think I've done two videos with that, a first impressions and then a 3 looks 1 palette video, and I'll have those linked in the description down below. I also really loved the Geodes themed packaging of that palette, but I feel like this one even has set the bar higher for just amazingly detailed, beautiful artwork. The dragon scales on the palette are actually raised and like textured, and you can stare into the eye of the dragon and it's like a holographic, I don't know, dragon eye. I just think this is so cool and unique and just so pretty. I love the What's Up Beauty packaging as well because it's very slim and compact and like quite small in comparison to some other palettes that I have. So the packaging for me is 10 out of 10. The packaging is apparently made from 30% post-consumer recycled material. And then inside the palette, you are getting 5 creamy mattes, 7 blinding and shifty shimmers, and the shimmers in this palette do have multi-chromes and duochromes to them, so they are extra special. I actually just went to grab the Geodes palette because I kind of wanted to show you this packaging again, and you can see it's really basically the exact same like size and dimensions and everything. But I also just wanted to show you these color stories side by side because I think that they might make for really good companion palettes as well. So on the right we have the new Dragon's Eye palette and on the left we have the Geodes palette. I don't know, I just feel like they are very different from one another, but there's a lot of shades that would work nicely together. So if you already have the Geodes palette, it could be something to think about for ways to create even more looks with that palette as well. What's Up Beauty does have one other eyeshadow palette, the Desert Monsoon palette. I don't have that one, although it does look beautiful. I really enjoyed the formula of the Geodes palette when I tried it. The mattes were really buildable, but creamy and blendable. And then there are some more like shifty shimmer shades in this palette and then some really beautiful sparkly toppers. So I'm looking forward to trying out this palette and seeing if it's the same What's Up Beauty quality that I fell in love with the Geodes palette. So let's do it. Without further ado, I need to swatch this palette. I need to get my little fingers into these pans and see what we're working with here. Okay, so starting from the top left-hand corner of the palette, we have the shade Fly. Ooh, that looks super pretty and shifty. It's sort of like a white with blue, green, and gold shifts to it. Oh my gosh. You can really see the gold there. Oh, that would be so pretty just over like a bare lid. It reminds me a little bit of the shade Snowman in the Odin's Eye Merry Christmas palette, which I'm obsessed with. So yeah, if you were curious about that shade, this one seems like it might have even more of a gold shift than that shade does. Then we have the shade Breath, which looks like a coral kind of peachy matte. Just going over that shade one more time to see if we can build it up a bit. Then we have another shifty shimmer shade. This is the shade Fire. Sorry for my terrible swatches as per usual. Ooh, that looks so pretty. It's sort of like a rose gold to gold shift, but the rose gold is actually pretty dark. It looks like it would pair really, really well with that coral matte shade. Okay, and then we've got another matte. This one is more of like a muted purple shade. It's called Spikes. Okay, next four. So we've got the last two on the top row and the first two on the bottom row. I mean, these look so nice. Is it weird that I'm really excited for this neutral brown? I love when there's a neutral brown matte in palettes that have a bunch of special shades because I just feel like it grounds the palette and it lets you create so many everyday looks as well as like really dramatic smoky looks too. So yes, I am that person that gets excited about a neutral brown matte. So this stunning shade is called Magic. It looks like a duochrome purple blue shift. Then we have the deepest matte so far called Powerful. I'm gonna go over that again. It looks like a nice eggplanty purple kind of a shade. That neutral brown matte that I was talking about is called Creature. Looks like a perfect transition shade for all kinds of looks. And then we've got the shade Fierce. Ooh, that is stunning. It's like a really nice mossy green with a lot of gold to it. Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait to put that on my eyes. It looks so pretty. It also seems like it has a little bit of blue, like a tealy undertone. I'm so excited. They are that kind of flakier texture that I remember from the Geodes palette. So like that shade that I just swatched, Fierce, it does come off in some flakes. But then like these other shades up here were a little bit more of like that really finely milled shimmer topper formula. So keeping consistent with the Geodes palette for sure, some of those shades were flakier and some of them were more like topper shades. All right, and then the last four shades in the palette, and how stunning are these? This green, it's green to purple. Oh my gosh, obsessed. So that green to purple shade is called Scales. Oh, how can I not put that on my eyes? This next shade is called Myth. I feel like that didn't swatch the best because of my swatching skills, not necessarily because of the shadow, but it's sort of like an antique bronze with rose gold and gold to it. The shimmers in that one are pretty sparse, like very finely milled again, so it's more of like that topper consistency. And then we have the last matte, which is called Smoke. Again, I'm so excited to have a neutral brown matte. I don't know, is anybody with me on this? Like having all these special shades is of course amazing, but having the mattes to pair them with just makes building eye looks so much easier. And then last but certainly not least, we have the shade Monster, which is a beautiful kind of medium purple with a little bit of a gray to it. Oh, but it's got all kinds of different colored sparkles in it, like green and blue sparkles as well. So here is our color story. There is so much to work with here. Like you could definitely go pinky purple. You could definitely go like the rose gold, more neutral kind of a vibe. I think you could pull in the green and the purple together, which might be what I do. But there's also like a monochromatic green look. I think you could do a monochromatic purple look. Or this shade Fierce, I feel like would pair really well with just the neutral mattes. Well, I feel like I have to go for it for this first look and then maybe do another 3 looks, 1 palette look if people are interested to explore all of the other ways you could go with this palette, but I feel like I kind of have to do the green and purple. It matches the packaging of the palette and it's also just really exciting me after seeing the swatches, so I think that's what I'm gonna go for. Let's zoom in and see what we can put together using some of the greens and purples in this palette. I have primed my lids as per usual with the Ulta Beauty Matte Eyeshadow Primer, which I believe is on sale right now, so if you're in need of an eyeshadow primer, this is a very good one. And then set with my Pat McGrath Under Eye Blurring Setting Powder, which is what I always do to prep for eyeshadow. I think I'm going to start with that lighter neutral transition shade. Not that this look that I'm going to do really needs it, but just kind of for fun. And because I'm excited to have a neutral brown. Such a loser. Okay, so taking a fluffy brush, I'm going in with the shade Creature. Already in love with this matte formula, so blendable. I love that you can start small and build it up. I love that it builds well on itself. This is exactly what I remember about the mattes in the Geodes palette as well, and I remember being really excited about the mattes in that video too. Yeah, this matte formula just really, it ticks all the boxes for me, and that color is a dream. So far, so good. Like I said, I don't necessarily know that this look needed that step, but I had to try it. So now let's go in with some purples. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Spikes, which is that lighter purple matte, and just gonna put that right over top of the shade Creature. I took the shade Creature up quite high, so I'm going to keep this one a little bit lower. This is such a pretty color. I remember too with the Geodes palette feeling like they did pops of color with the mattes in a way that was still very neutral and wearable and easy to create looks with. Like this is a purple, but it's still very wearable. Beautiful, blending so well already. So now I'm going to take the shade Powerful, which is the deeper of the two purple mattes. I'm going to take this on a denser brush and see if I can build it up to be pretty dark on the outer corner here. Building up really easily and blending in really nicely. I'm going a little bit more rounded through my crease. I don't know why, just kind of feel like doing more of a round shape than a winged shape today for some reason. I think I'm happy with those mattes for now. We might go back in and fine tune after the shimmers, but I gotta go in with some shimmers. For the sake of experimenting, I'm not gonna do any glitter glue, and I'm gonna apply these with my fingers, and we will see if we get fallout with that so that I can let you all know if I think it's best applied with a glitter glue. But I always just kind of think it's fun to work with shimmers with my fingers and see how they do. I think I'm gonna go in with the shade Scales. I'm going to put this over the majority of my lid, but focusing primarily on the center. I mean, are you seeing this? Oh my gosh. How freaking stunning is that? Well, that shade absolutely performs and definitely lives up to the namesake of the palette, being the Dragon's Eye palette. Wow. Are you seeing this? So minimal amount of fallout with that shade. It's not anything that, you know, is too bothersome for me, but something to be aware of. You could use a glitter glue or just do your eyes first and then your base if you're worried about that. But yeah, not enough fallout to really make me too upset. So I think I'm gonna take the shade Fierce and just keep building up these shimmers. Fierce was a little bit flakier, so I'm just gonna get some on my finger, but then kind of tap off my finger a bit, tapping off my finger like you would a brush. And I'm gonna put that in this inner part of my eye and kind of meet it up with that first shade. Oh my gosh. The impact of these shimmers is like unmatched. Just touching that to my eye, I mean, it's really amazing. So I'm just kind of blending that in a little bit with that first shade that we put down. Ooh, and the color that makes when they blend is also super pretty. It makes it almost more of like a Kelly green. Keep calm, keep calm. Keep calm and do the other eye. Okay. I love the way that that looks layered over that other shade as well. Oh man, I'm gonna have so much fun playing with these and layering them over top of each other because it just makes them even more duochrome and shifty. Okay, I think I'm going to touch up that darkest purple matte in the outer corner slightly, but I might just leave the eyes there on the top and add some more shimmers on the bottom. I think I'm just gonna touch back into that shade Scales and make sure that I haven't lost any of the impact here on the outside of my lid. That is a pretty eye look. That is a pretty eye look, people. What are we gonna do on the bottom lash line? Okay, for the bottom lash line, I'm first gonna start with that deepest purple again, the shade Powerful, and I'm just going to connect that to the outer part of the top lid. I'm not gonna take it too far over because I wanna save some space for some other shades. Just for fun, let's take the shade Breath, which is that more coral shade, to blend that out. I think that looks pretty. It almost like matches with my blush a little bit. I grabbed a little brush and some setting spray just so I can be a little bit more detailed with my placement of the shimmers on the bottom lash line. So I'm gonna take the shade Monster. This one is that, it's a purple, but it's got sort of like a smoky base to it and some blue and green sparkles. So I'm just gonna get some on the brush and then spritz it. Just because my fingers, I don't know, my fingers are gonna make a mess of this, I can tell. So I'm just gonna try to be a little bit more careful and place that along the lower lash line. I think that looks really pretty. Just kind of picking up on the purple from the purple and green duochrome for the bottom lash line. Part of me wants to put more green on the bottom, but I feel like I kind of want to play with some other shades just to like see these other shimmers in action. I think Magic could be really cool. It's kind of like a shimmer with a pink base with a lot of purple sparkles to it. So I'm going to do the same thing. I just wiped off my little detailer brush and I'm going to spritz it with setting spray and then put it right up next to that what was that other shade called? Monster, on the lower lash line. Yeah, I like that you can see the blue from that shade Magic coming through. I mean, the glitter fallout is definitely happening at this point. I don't mind it because I don't know, I think it sometimes is fun to have like glitter tears, but yeah, if you don't want glitter to fall out while you're doing the lower lash line, then maybe use a glitter glue, because even with spraying my brush, I'm still getting a little sprinkle of shimmers falling through. But again, that doesn't bother me because I think it looks kind of pretty and ethereal and magical. And with the Dragon Eye palette, I feel like it kind of fits the theme. But yeah, just want to point that out for those of you that, yeah, are curious. I'm definitely gonna use the shade Fly for my inner corner. It just looks like my perfect icy inner corner with a blue, green, gold duochrome, and I just cannot get enough of those kinds of shades. So let's put that all in the inner corner. Oh yeah, baby. That's what we needed to complete this look. It's perfect because it ties in the green, it ties in the way that the green shifts to gold, but it also ties in the kind of bluey purpley vibe of some of the other shades that we used. I really love the way that this look came out. I feel like typically if I tried to pair green and purple, it would blend into something really like muddy and brown, or just like not blend at all and completely clash. So I love that the duochromes in this palette have opened up new possibilities for color combinations. And yeah, I feel like it's one of those palettes that's going to continue to create really unexpected and unique looks because of that. I think the only thing to do now is add some mascara, and then I will come back and show you the finished look and give you my thoughts on the What's Up Beauty Dragon Eye palette. All right, and here is the finished look. I finished up with the What's Up Beauty Watch Me mascara because I felt it was only right to go with the palette, even though I probably had mine open a little bit too long and it's probably time to go. I really do love this mascara for a false lash effect. Super voluminous, super dramatic lash look. And then in the waterline, I used the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Alkaline, just for a little bit of extra purple to tie the look together. I love the way this look came out. I think it's so unique and so pretty, and I have to say I am very happy this palette did not disappoint. I had high hopes for it after using the Geodes palette and loving the Geodes palette for the last few months, and this is the same What's Up Beauty quality. I think their eyeshadow formula really is unique, especially the shimmers. There's something very sparkly and almost like fairy-like and ethereal about the way that their shimmers look on the lid, as well as also being super molten and metallic and impactful. So if you like the kinds of eyeshadow that I tend to like, if you like, you know, really impactful metallics, or shifty, shimmery, shiny, sparkly shades, I don't think you would be disappointed in this palette. And also I feel like if you like playing with color, but you also like having some nice neutral mattes to ground your looks like I do, I feel like this is a really great color story for that as well. I can't wait to keep playing with this palette. I feel like there's so much you can do with this palette. So if you have your eye on this palette, definitely pick it up. Launch day is November 17th, and I think you all are gonna love it. I can't wait for you to get your hands on it so that I can see your looks and take inspiration from all of your looks as well. Let me know if you'd like to see a video with some more looks from this palette. I would love to do that for you if you're interested. And thank you again to What's Up Beauty for sending this my way and allowing me to try this a few days early. I had a blast and I love the result. So that is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Give the video a like if you liked it, and let me know in the comments down below if you're planning on picking up this palette, or if you've tried the What's Up Beauty formula in the past and you have some of their palettes. I'd love to know your thoughts on that as well. My next video should be up in the next few days, so until then, I will hope to see you in the next one. Bye!